Welcome to my podcast, Snakz Thoughts. Welcome. Resilience is one of the most powerful traits a human being can have, and yet it's becoming rarer in modern society. People want success, but few people are willing to develop the toughness required to survive failure. What resilience actually is. Resilience is not about never failing. Resilience is about getting hit, getting knocked down, getting disappointed, and still continuing forward anyway. History shows us something interesting. The people who eventually succeed in life are rarely the ones who have the easiest paths. They are the ones who learned how to absorb pressure without breaking. Now, what are some examples of this that I can give you? All right, guys. A good example would be look at athletes. Many athletes at the highest level had to overcome, and persevere through adversity, whether that was on the field or on the court in their sport, or whether it was actually in their lives. What are some notable examples of persevering through adversity? Let me see. Let me start with I'll start with basketball. Okay. Notable players. Dr. J. Julius Erving, was cut and wasn't good enough in high school to make his team till his junior year. Another one, Shaquille O'Neal, cut in his sophomore year, and then practiced, got better, and came back, made it, in his junior year. And obviously, one of the most notable, Michael Jordan, cut, sophomore, or I believe he was cut as a freshman. It was one of the two, but he practiced, really hard, worked hard. And also over the summer, he did grow 6 inches. But even though he grew that 6 inches, he had still gotten that much better. So he persevered, through adversity and overcame. And even at the pro level, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, they persevered against the Detroit Pistons. Their nemesis. Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons, was giving Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, giving them hell, man, and standing in their way, to keep them from making it to the Eastern, through the Eastern Conference Finals, to get to the NBA championship, and it took Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls 7 years. But he never gave up and he never quit. Let me see, athletes. I want to use some other examples. I don't know how much who's all listening to this, but you could look at famous track stars like Wilma Rudolph. I believe that I think she might have overcame polio or something like that. Couldn't hardly walk, and I think might have been in braces. In their youth. So you have some of those, notable track stars today. Noah Lyles overcame asthma, as a kid. And, 100-meter gold medalist, and look how many world championships he's won. Other examples you can look at in life, military training. With the military and making it through military training, whether it's basic training or whether it's technical training, or AIT, or if it's training for maybe say trying to get promoted or get certain rank, or trying to make it into special forces. That stuff is challenging, man. And it's not about the most talented, or gifted. It's the one, that has heart and discipline, and when they fail or get knocked down, they get back up, you know what I'm saying, and they continue, they keep going. You know, you can't quit. You know, entrepreneurs, you know, many entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying, all entrepreneurs have failed at some point. You know, but many of them, you know what I'm saying, they failed at different, you know what I'm saying, endeavors, and then finally they had a breakthrough, you know. And many businesses, the first 5 years, it's make it or break it, you know. But those individuals that succeed, you can't give up, you know what I'm saying. I've experienced failure, you know what I'm saying, in my life, in my life personally. I've had, you know what I'm saying, my own personal battles, you know what I'm saying, everything from, with drugs and, you know what I'm saying, alcohol, you know what I'm saying, at certain times in my life, you know what I'm saying, financial, hard times, hard knock life, you know what I'm saying, being homeless for a short stint, and those things, are not easy, facing challenges, man, almost losing my life, you know what I'm saying, on the battlefield, but, you got to persevere. It's a saying that goes that the race isn't given to the swift or the strong, but to him that endures to the end. That's actually biblical. That's in the Bible, So it's not given to the most talented. It's not given to the strongest. It's not given to the fastest. But to the one that can press their way through. What else? You know what I'm saying? You can even look at relationships. People rebuilding after failure. What about failed marriages? And nobody wants to fail, you know what I'm saying, in marriages, but you have a lot of divorcees, But you can even look at that, and so just because you failed, do you give up on love? You know what I'm saying? The answer is no. You get up, you know what I'm saying, and you heal, and then you press on through. Pressure, it doesn't destroy strong people. Pressure reveals them, and that's the truth right there. Pressure will reveal what's really there. When you start turning that heat up, in the pot or in the fire, and you actually in it, that pressure, is going to reveal whether or not you're going to crack or fold, or whether or not, like cream, you're going to rise to the top. And that's life. Modern society is losing resilience. And one of the problems with modern culture is that it has become extremely comfortable. Technology, made life easier. Convenience made life softer. People can't deal without their electronic gadgets. They can't deal without their cell phones. Can't deal without their laptop. You know what I'm saying? Can't deal without their Snapchat. Can't deal without their social media. Don't know how to communicate. Some people don't know how to communicate with people face to face. Yeah, don't know how to interact. Don't develop people skills because they so used to being a keyboard warrior. You know what I'm saying? Or what I don't get with sometimes with this generation, to me, I think it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? If you got a person that's within your vicinity, why the hell are you texting them when you could talk to them? And another thing is that with these dating dynamics, you know what I'm saying? What's wrong with calling somebody and talking to them on the phone? How you going, you know what I'm saying, mac on somebody, you know what I'm saying, through texting, when they can hear your voice or they see you face to face, they can see the message that you're trying to convey. So how you going to kick down some game, if you can't talk, you know what I'm saying, to the person face to face or communicate, you know what I'm saying, on the phone? Nothing beats a phone call, man. And I'm not knocking, you know what I'm saying, the online dating stuff and whatever, using the text, you know what I'm saying. It's all got its place, you know what I'm saying, but human beings are human beings, and we have not changed since we were created. you know, and I'm obviously from Generation X, you know what I'm saying? But I think that men and women could stand to do a better job of communicating. And this is for all generations, you know? But definitely like the Z's, the A's, and like the younger generations and some of the millennials, you know, this technology in some ways is ruined communication between people and definitely between men and women. You know what I'm saying? Some women, you know, they heads is gassed up and thinking they got more options that they really don't have based off of social media and dating apps. You know, and I think that people and men and women both need to get back to basics and the reality, man. You know, don't sit up here talking about you don't need, you know what I'm saying, a man. Both sexes need each other. So to the ladies, you know what I'm saying, stop that nonsense. You need a man, you know what I'm saying? Don't give me that, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all can't deal without your coochies, you know what I'm saying, getting wet, you know what I'm saying, for about a week before you got to have somebody laying up in you. So don't give me that nonsense, you know what I'm saying? And as far as all of this BS with your bills getting paid in Cash App, you bras that are talking that silliness, y'all can kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no man stupid enough to Cash App you just to talk to your funky behind. You know what I'm saying? You know, give it a break. You know what I'm saying? You know. But yeah, you know, and like I said, fellas, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, I can dig it, man. Hey, if y'all feel that, hey, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, I dig it, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, don't give up, you know what I'm saying, on relationships. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you got to find your good thing somewhere else, you know what I'm saying, go for it. If that broad, you know what I'm saying, she ain't acting right, you know what I'm saying, hey, she got to kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? And for the ladies, you know what I'm saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, you know, if the dude is coming foul, you know what I'm saying, and they ain't coming correct, you know what I'm saying, y'all know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't choose them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them they got to ride and keep it pushing and moving. But yeah, let me keep on moving. You know, resilience is built in hard environments, not comfortable ones. So being comfortable will make your behind soft. You understand? And so when hard times hit and you get the cushion or the rug pulled from under you, and now your behind is on the concrete, you know, you got to be able to deal with those hard knocks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the rap song by Jay-Z, It's a Hard Knock Life, you know? But, you know, sometimes hard knocks, you know what I'm saying, and pressure, it builds, you know, character. You know, and it makes us appreciate what we have when we do overcome. All right? Now, you know, some points I want to hit on, you know, people quitting, you know, too early. You know what I'm saying? Quitting. You know, just because the road got rough or it got rocky, you don't quit. You know what I'm saying? You must persevere and continue, because if you quit, you know what I'm saying, life is like a race. All of us, we are in a race. If any one of us, you know what I'm saying, if we fall down or we get knocked down by life and we quit, everybody else is going to keep on going. Ain't nobody stopping, you know what I'm saying, to scoop you up or to pick you up or to wipe your nose. You got to get up, you know what I'm saying, off the canvas and off that concrete and dust yourself off and keep going. You know what I'm saying? Life will give you tough love. Social media comparison. You know what I'm saying? We all are individuals, you know. Ain't no need to compare who and what you are and your successes or what somebody else has. You know what I'm saying? You know, comparison, man, that will lead you to misery. You know, be thankful for what you got. Do the best you can. Instant gratification culture. You know what I'm saying? Can't go without. You know what I'm saying? You know, eyes bigger than your stomach. I got to have it now. You know? You got to learn, you know what I'm saying, discipline, and sometimes to say no to yourself and go without. You know, in order to get gratification in the long run or have a better outcome. People expecting success too quickly. You know, in most cases, success, it doesn't come, you know, overnight. You know, it takes time, you know. It takes time. You know, people want the results of resilience without going through the process that creates it. Yeah, where resilience come from? Where does it come from, guys? Real resilience comes from adversity. Examples: hard childhoods, military training, athletic competition, business failures. Every time life punches you in the mouth, you have a choice. You can either become bitter or you can become stronger. Pain is not always an enemy. Sometimes pain is a teacher that builds the strongest people. You ever hear the saying that life is the best teacher? Ain't nothing like experience. Now, why resilience matters in the future. As long as you living and breathing, you're going to need to be resilient if you're going to keep on living. You can't quit, You got to keep moving. The future is not going to, it's not going to belong to the most comfortable people. It will belong to the most adaptable and resilient people. Because every generation faces pressure, economic pressure, social pressure, personal struggles. And the people who rise above it are the ones who refuse to quit when things get difficult. Now, I'm closing. So maybe resilience is the real superpower. Not talent, not intelligence, not even opportunity. Because the person who refuses to give up eventually outlasts the person who quits. You guys ever heard of the race between the tortoise and the hare? The rabbit or the hare was quicker, but the tortoise was slow and steady. Yeah. And in the long run, the people who endure are the people who win. And I'm going to leave it at that, guys. But this is it for Snakz Thoughts. The Power of Resilience is what I titled this episode. But I thank you guys, and ladies, I thank you for tuning in and listening. And the name of this podcast is Snakz Thoughts, SNAKZ THOUGHTS. This podcast can be found on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, SoundCloud, Radio PBM, and a host of other social media outlets. Also, guys, I have my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, ERICBROADUS YouTube. So please, go over there, smash the bell to become a subscriber on my YouTube channel. Turn on all notifications, hit the like and unlike button to like the content and videos. Hit the hype button to hype the videos and the content. And also leave a comment. Love to dialogue with you and hear your thoughts. Everyone has a right to be heard. Also, I have my Snakz 123 SNAKZ 123 on Rumble. So go over there, join, and follow me on Rumble. Either way, hit the like or unlike button to like the content and leave a comment. Love to hear your thoughts and dialogue with you and share. And lastly, I have the 5 best weight loss products. Which is health and nutrition and, to cut body fat and weight loss. So take care of your health, ladies and gentlemen. Next to God, the next best thing that you have is your health. Your health is your wealth. Take care of it. It'll take care of you. But anyway, guys, share it. Snakz Thoughts Podcast, Eric Broadus YouTube, Snakz 123 on Rumble, and the 5 best weight loss products. Share them with family, frenemies, enemies, rats, dogs, bats, goats, cats. Share them and push them out, guys. That's all I have on this one. Peace out, and I will catch you on the next one later.